Hey, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Brad Panovich. We're in store for an active day of heavy downpours and thunderstorms again in the mountains mainly, but this go around today, I think we're going to see a lot more move across the Piedmont. Not that we didn't see a bunch last night, especially after midnight. We could see that kind of recurrence. We're in a kind of a rut here with the Bermuda High setting up shop just to our east. And what I mean by the Bermuda High is typically, the Bermuda High is an area of high pressure which is just over Bermuda, and we tend to see a lot of this activity wrap around the ridge of high pressure. Now, as the ridge backs up, that will dry us out a little bit more, but we're right on the edge where we're seeing all this active storminess today, and you can see that showing up in the satellite image. There is sun across the Piedmont, but that's going to create a lot of instability or that thunderstorm fuel. Here's a look at the radar, and you can kind of see what's going on if I widen this out a little bit. And in fact, I think I'm going to turn on the isobars just so you can kind of see where the surface pressure is. But Bermuda's right here, right above my head. Typically, when the ridge is based right there, that's kind of the perfect setup where we're in the outer edge of the high, which brings in all these disturbances and gives us some frontal boundaries. Now, if the high gets closer to us, that starts shutting the rain off, but we're kind of in the perfect spot to see afternoon and evening storms pretty much every single day this week, really, until we get to the weekend when it looks like the ridge of high pressure is going to get a little bit closer to us. Real quickly, I want to show you that we have a couple things going on. We've got a flash flood watch in effect for the mountains, and I'm going to turn that on real quickly so you guys can see that pop up. But especially in the mountains and foothills where we saw heavy rain yesterday, we're going to have some excessive rainfall today. And I show you that quite a bit, that excessive rainfall outlook. And let me show you what that looks like here. I'll turn it on for today. It's that area in yellow. So you see the area in yellow? That's in that kind of 10 to 15% chance of seeing some flash flooding. Across the Piedmont, it's kind of low. So think of the yellow as kind of the medium. And you can see that flash flood watch it just filled in there. I'll put it up there. That does include Watauga and Ashe County. So those areas just north that saw heavy rain yesterday, certainly going to see the potential for possibly some flash flooding today. It wouldn't take much to get it going. And on top of that, we've got a slight risk or a low risk for severe storms. So there's a lot going on. Potential for flooding and the risk for some isolated strong storms. So I would say the overall threat for severe weather is only about 5 to 10%. To me, flooding is going to be the biggest issue that we're going to run into today with anything that's going on, just because we saw so much rain yesterday and the potential we could see some heavy rain again today in several locations. So let me show you how things unfold today. One thing we're going to see is the sun is out right here, so we're getting things nice and juicy and amped up. If I turn on the surface observations here, you'll see temperatures across most of the Piedmont have really skyrocketed back into the low 80s already. And here we are, I'm recording this at around 9:20, so we've got some low 80s out here already, so it's pretty warm. It's also incredibly muggy. Dew points are near 70. That's ridiculous humidity for this time of year, just to tell you, to see that much moisture in place. So we've got all the ingredients for thunderstorms to develop today. It is not going to take long for these things to get going this afternoon. So let me turn off the radar here real quickly, and let's pull up the model data. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the short range stuff, because we're really going to be watching this stuff just in the next 18 hours. We'll load it up. I'll load it up as we're watching, and I want you to see how things unfold this afternoon and look at that explosion and thunderstorm. Don't worry, I'm going to pause this here in a second, but I'm loading it up here. We'll let it fill in, and we'll stop it. Let me back it up. So here we are this morning. So notice the time up at the top here, 8 a.m. We'll go to 11 a.m. and right around noon. Noon is like the magic hour. It seems like that's when we start to see stuff bubble up here in the mountains, and certainly when we have the highest development of ridge-top thunderstorms. We'll go to about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And this is what I think is going to happen. And I saw this a lot in the guidance yesterday, that the mountains will be the focus for the storms to develop around noon. A line forms, and then it moves east. Now, it doesn't mean there won't be isolated storms east of there. That's the line, though, we got to keep an eye on, because watch as that thing kind of fills in and then pushes east. This is 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So, again, just like yesterday, those are pretty strong storms moving through the Piedmont between that 6, 7, 8 o'clock time frame. And again, the potential that some of these could be strong to severe is in that 5 to 10% range, and damaging winds would be the primary concern. And you can see that's 1 o'clock in the morning. So like last night, I think we're going to see these linger after midnight, because the instability builds up all day it takes a while for it to go away. Even after sunset, we've got a lot of that left. So just be ready now. The potential for strong to severe storms and heavy, heavy rain moving into the mountains and foothills again. This is a quick loop. This is an 18-hour loop of what's going to happen in the future here. So be prepared. This looks like this could be some really heavy rain in these areas, especially in the mountains and foothills. And then here in the Piedmont, we're looking at right around 8, 9, 10 o'clock to maybe midnight, some heavy rain moving in. So just a weather aware kind of day. Be ready for the potential for some strong and severe storms. But to me, the bigger issue will probably be flash flooding because of the amount of moisture there is in the atmosphere and the fact that some areas could get hit repeatedly. We call that training. That could be an issue today. Of course, I'll have updates throughout the afternoon on NBC Charlotte online and on my social media throughout the afternoon. Have a great Tuesday, everybody.